Well, good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. Today is June 27th, and this is Glenda Robichaux, and with me is Julie Gromitz. And we are really excited today to be talking about Petitgrain, amazing oil that we will dive deeper into, but thank you for joining us.
So our agenda today, pretty simple, straight to the point. We're going to talk about our June promotions. Our oil of the week is Petitgrain, and then we've got our upcoming events that we'll close out with. So this month's 10% off product every month, it's something different. This month it is fennel, and you can get fennel at 10% off for the entire month of June. Fennel is one of my favorites for any excess gas or upset tummies. It does have kind of that unique licorice flavor, so it's not for everyone, but it is one of my favorites, and it is part of our Digest Zen formula. So it's a great little oil to have on hand, I find.
And then we have a few days left too, also to take part in the Perfect Trio promotion. So if you are new to doTERRA and do not yet have a wholesale account, this is a wonderful month to get started. If you join this month and you do a 100 PV enrollment order, which is about $100 in oils, and you do a 100 PV order in July, you get our Lifelong Vitality Pack for free. And our Lifelong Vitality Pack is actually our #1 seller. They are whole food vitamins and minerals and supplements, and they're infused with essential oils. And we could go on and on about this, but we won't. But they're amazing to kind of help give you that foundation for your health, less inflammation, more energy, all that good stuff. So if you're not started yet, please get in touch with myself or Julie or whoever shared this video with you, and I think you'll be very happy. Yes.
So one of the products that had come out for Father's Day is this Amave line, and this is specifically for, well, it was created for men, with men in mind, so it's a beautiful array. The Amave blend is a really beautiful earthy blend. It's got some really cool oils, Buddha wood, and some other really great oils in it that help really promote grounding. And it's called the Fortifying Blend. And so it really helps to evoke those feelings of strength and love. And so they've got it in a beautiful little roller bottle or an aftershave lotion. And I don't know about you, Glenda, but I've been loving this lotion. I put it on my legs after I shave them. I put it on my face in the morning sometimes, not because I'm shaving, but because I'm just loving the feeling of it on my skin. And then this Onyx Balance Bath Bar actually creates a really nice lather to shave with. So, I believe that they are still available. It is a limited time only item, so if you haven't gotten yours yet, go ahead and hop on and throw that in your cart. Because it is a limited time item, it's only a ship now opportunity. So if you want to get LRP points for it, just go in and edit your cart, put it in there, and you'll want to ship it out the same day. You won't be able to save it in your cart.
And it does smell amazing. When I first got it, I was a little overly excited, and I just started rolling it on my husband's neck, which he did not appreciate. He wanted to kind of introduce himself slowly to the oil, but he's really loving it, and it smells amazing on him. He also has told me that he really likes the aftershave lotion, and that it feels nice and light and really soothes his skin after shaving. So some few tips from the man.
So we have these great new LRP kits. If you have not been checking out your shopping cart area as thoroughly as you could, they've got some really great ways to save money in their collections area. So they've discovered that people really do like an easy opportunity to bundle things. And so they've got a kit specifically for your immune support, one for your seasonal threats, a cleanse and restore kit, calm and harmony, athlete care, relief and revive, digestion, and daily habits. So according to this this health pyramid that we have, we've got a great kit no matter which component you are trying to support.
And those do come, I believe, with a little additional savings by the way they've bundled the kits. And they're all also above or at that 125 PV mark. So if you're looking towards July for your LRP and you choose one of these kits, make sure to order it before the 15th so you get the free product of the month as well.
Good reminder.
Mm-hmm. Petitgrain, our oil of the week. And just to give you a little bit of information here on Petitgrain, we get our Petitgrain from Paraguay, and we've got a beautiful video to show us the sourcing on that here in a little bit. The distillation method of getting the Petitgrain from the leaves and the twigs is steam. And the leaves and the twigs actually come from the bitter orange tree. And we get another oil from the bitter orange tree from the flowers, which is neroli. So kind of cool. We get two different oils from the same plant. I thought this was kind of cool. The name comes from the French word petitgrain, meaning little grains, which refer to small, unripe, bitter oranges that resemble cherries in size. And petitgrain in general has a very relaxing and calming aroma. And when we were introduced to petitgrain a few years ago, they kind of introduced it as the man's lavender. Petitgrain's chemistry is very similar to lavender. So if lavender is not your cup of tea, but you are looking for those calming effects of lavender, this is a great go-to, and we'll dive into that more just to give you a little bit to get started. Anything you want to add, Julie?
Oh, I was just going to say that I'm absolutely in love with neroli. They came out with neroli this past convention and Petitgrain 2 years ago. And neroli is in a really easy roller bottle, and I actually carry that in my purse pretty much everywhere that I go. But it's a really beautiful aroma. And when I first smelled it, it was like a blend between Petitgrain and like ylang ylang or another floral. So it's just a beautiful, relaxing aroma, and I've really grown fond of Petitgrain more so now that I've been in love with my neroli. Isn't that funny? How that kind of turns around.
Yes. I also do want to encourage something. I forgot to do this at the start. If you do have Petitgrain and you're following along here, I invite you to grab your bottle of Petitgrain and take a drop in your palm. This is one that I usually sniff out of the bottle and don't really care for, but when you take a drop in your palm and rub your palms together, it's a completely different experience, really giving the oil a chance to open up. Just rub your palms together and take a nice deep inhale.
I'm with you, Glenda. When I was first introduced to this, out of the bottle, I wasn't that excited about it. And then shortly after we got back from convention, I walked into a friend of mine's home and she had been diffusing it. She was absolutely in love with it, and it smelled amazing. And so I really do think that sometimes we don't give the oils enough of an opportunity to open up, to get that the full experience.
Oh man, that's awesome. So next we have this beautiful video on sourcing of Petitgrain. It's about 5 minutes, but I think you'll really enjoy seeing where we get this beautiful oil from.
We have been seeking a sustainable source of Petitgrain for quite some time. And when we found a source in Paraguay, we were really, really excited. As we went in, it was quite an adventure. Got all the red mud, and of course the rains came down as we came in, which made it all the more fun. But I wasn't expecting what I found as we entered.
We look for the country or the area that's producing the best oils, and in the back of our minds, the area where we can have the most impact. Petitgrain has always been produced in Paraguay. It's been there for at least a century. So we wanted the best oil we could get. We wanted to make a difference in the lives of people who needed help. So we went to Paraguay.
There was a particular family that really stole my heart, a father and son team. And as they loaded up this little wooden cart that was drawn by an oxen, this oxen was borrowed by another member in the community and was just loaned to him. And as they filled this cart up and took it down to the distillery that was owned by yet another community member, and to see them work together as father and son. This was very labor intensive. These distilleries in Paraguay are different from any distilleries I've ever seen. They're actually made out of wood. They're a very simple structure. But in order to make them work, you've got to seal them up and make them very, very tight, but yet have enough ventilation that you have the steam that can come through. That means they take this very rich red dirt and they cover the still after it's been filled with the plant material. And it works perfectly that way.
I'm really excited about Petitgrain essential oil. Now, Petitgrain, like all essential oils, has great diversity within its chemistry, a lot of complexity within its chemistry, and that always equates to greater benefits that we see when we use the essential oils. It's very similar to what we see in lavender in that we have linalool and we have linalool acetate. Only in Petitgrain essential oil, we see a complete reversal of that chemistry. But we still get all the wonderful soothing and healthy benefits that we see. We know that it's relaxing and calming to the body, great for supporting digestion, an oil that's simple to use with this beautiful aroma that has a little bit of a earthy tone to it, but you can certainly pick up some of the citrus and more floral aromas as well.
By working with rural farmers and rural areas that are very impoverished, we'll be able to provide jobs for the farmers themselves and give incentive for their children to stay there and work the land that they have been working for decades. We've met with a lot of farmers who are anxious to get involved in Petitgrain again. Many farmers have let their trees grow and not harvested for years. Their distillation facilities are rotted. They no longer have them. They've let their wells collapse. Since doTERRA has started working in Paraguay, it's sparked a new interest in Petitgrain production in these areas, which is exciting to see because it gives them a bigger vision of what can be done in their communities. It can give them a bigger vision of what they can do on their lands.
I'm so excited to help these beautiful people, to bring back to a market an oil that has been part of their heritage for many generations. And we get to now bring that back. They're now partnered with us. We get to support them through our compact sourcing efforts. And they know that they get a fair price. And I love that we are able to do that. That also guarantees us a very pure, quality, potent product because we work with them from the ground up.
Oh, that just warms my heart.
Yep, I was going to say.
All right, Dr. Josh Axe here, Doctor of Natural Medicine,
dear.
founder of in this video, maybe.
Sorry. Making sure you're all still with me.
Oh, fun.
Oh,
So, you know, one of the things there's two things that really caught me when I was watching that video. The first one was how utterly devoted they are to the production of this oil. I don't know about you, Glenda, but I find that sometimes I get started on a project that's maybe a little bit more hands-on and maybe a little bit more labor-intensive than I originally anticipated. And I get started and I get, you know, a little discouraged right away because it tends to take far more work and far more effort, right? It's our little first world problems that like, oh, I was up at the camper last week and realizing that I needed to do a little caulking and give a little help and a little assistance to the rooftop of our camper. And I was up there going, oh, this looks like so much work. And it really just puts things into perspective when you realize all of the effort and all of the work that goes into these beautiful little brown bottles that we have. And then the second thing that really caught my heart in watching that was I found myself driving through some of these areas of Minnesota that, you know, at one point in time, somebody was really excited about building up, and then they let it just fall apart with dilapidated buildings and maybe farmland that's gone unharvested for quite some time. And I was noticing, you know, that's kind of like a broken dream, right? Where we once upon a time had this beautiful vision, and whatever life circumstances brought about, we let it go. And there's almost that feeling of lack of hope at that point in time. And what I loved in this video, what really caught my heart, was that when doTERRA came into Paraguay and started working with some of the farmers, other farmers that had these plants in their families forever, that had these unharvested petitgrain plants, had felt alive again, had seen the vision, had seen the opportunity. And I just love the hope that doTERRA brings to these countries, to these people that they may have lost once upon a time.
thank you. That's really, you know, what strikes me in these videos is that I look at how much love and attention is put into growing and harvesting the plants. And when I think about our potency and our purity of our oils, you know, you can almost feel all the love that they've put into that in the oil.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, my brother and I joke sometimes when we go out to eat, or, you know, we'll go out for a coffee or something. Sometimes you get an entree or a drink and you're like, wow, this doesn't taste good. And then sometimes when we get something awesome, we're always like, oh, you can just taste the love in it. You know, I really think that when, I know when I cook, if I'm, you know, putting kind of some of my emotion into it, I feel like you can taste that in the end. And I think it's the same thing with our oils, is that, you know, doTERRA partners with these farmers, especially in underdeveloped countries, where we're able to love them and they're able to love the plants. And then the product we get in turn is just full of love from all around the world. And it just makes me all emotional.
Absolutely.
Yes. There's a lot of love in the oil.
Love.
So moving right along, some primary benefits and uses for petitgrain is, I thought this was kind of cool. I found this on doTERRA's website. And if you would like to find the research behind all this, I encourage you to go out to doTERRA.com and just type in Petitgrain in the search bar. But Petitgrain can support the cardiovascular system. It can support the digestive system, our immune system, our nervous system. Wow. Provides antioxidant support and can also help promote sleep. So just a few really powerful systems in the body that might need some love and benefit from this oil. And that is, again, when it's taken internally, when it's consumed. So I thought that was fun to share.
So we were able to see a wonderful presenter last night. Her name is Susan Lawton, and she's an awesome author and essential oil guru. And she came out to Minneapolis, like I said, presented last night. It was amazing. And one of the things that she had given us, a formula she had given us, was for that massive head tension. Some people might get it on a monthly basis with their cycles. Some people wake up with it. It can be debilitating. Sometimes it can create a visual or an auditory issue. And so the formula that she gave us was to be created in a roller bottle. And it was 3 drops Melissa, 4 drops geranium, 3 drops petitgrain or lavender, 2 drops marjoram. And like I said, pop that in a roller bottle, top it off with the FCO. And that's fractionated coconut oil. And so that's the liquid form of our coconut oil. You can find that right in your shopping cart area at doTERRA.com. And this formula to be applied on the wells of the shoulder. So this image really shows where that well might be, but it's kind of right in between the upper trapezius and the middle trapezius. But it's that spot that we have right in the middle of our well of our shoulder. And oftentimes it feels really good to rub on it. So if you are someone that does have this regular occurrence of this massive head tension, rubbing this oil blend right on your shoulders on a regular basis and making sure that you're getting plenty of water. So lots of water on a regular basis. And consistency is key with both the oil and the water. So making sure that you're taking in all of that. And yeah, I just love to have little recipes and formulas.
Also, something about that she mentioned, and I hope I'm getting this right, is that we don't actually have any pain perceptors in our brain. Did you catch that? So really, when you're having that head tension, it's actually coming up from this top area of the back, because she kind of divided, you know, from that in the middle of the head down and across the shoulder blade. She kind of made quadrants, so 4 quadrants, and a lot of it, the head stuff, is just coming from those upper 2 quadrants, not actually in your head, in your brain, but it's more traveling up from there. So that's why this spot, these little wells, is a great place to put the oil. Also, something else too, and I thought this was fascinating, is that you know, we can kind of rewrite the cells in our body by our thoughts. So if you do also have this head tension regularly, you can make the decision to stop the cycle. So, you know, when you're applying this blend, really be conscious of your thoughts, and maybe be saying to yourself, like, I no longer have head tension, or make some kind of affirmation for yourself that lets your cells know that you're done with the cycle. You know, maybe you needed to receive a message about what's going on in your body. Thank your body for the message, and then tell your body that it's done.
So here's the affirmation that Susan Lawton and Rebecca Hinsey have in their book, Living Healthy and Happily Ever After.
Love that book.
It is, I am able to cope with whatever comes my way. I trust me now. I am allowing new thoughts of success and expectations of abundance to flow through me. I can express how I change what is going on around me in a calm and safe way. I can do anything I choose. Isn't that great?
Just awesome. Awesome. So moving right along, we have another beautiful blend, Peaceful Child blend. And I'll let you talk about this one, Julie, since you found it.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a blend that I've used for quite a few years now and have referred out to many people. And it's typically made with lavender. So it's vetiver, marjoram, ylang ylang, lavender, frankincense, and clary sage. And you'll find if you do a Google search for Peaceful Child blend, you'll find a lot of different formulas with an overabundance of oil drops in them. This is a blend that I found with the proper 2.5 dilution for a young child. So making sure that you are, paying attention to the potency of the oils again and diluting properly when you're using them topically on a child. Some of the other larger amounts of blends could be used in a diffuser. But anyway, moving along, the reason that I brought this one up is that sometimes lavender is not, there are some people that are a little hypersensitive to lavender, and it can create a little bit of a skin irritation or a rash. And I wanted to bring this up because it's a very real thing that some people in my world have come across. And so I wanted to find some different alternatives. And when they came out with Petitgrain, it was an amazing alternative. So you can very easily swap out the Petitgrain in this particular recipe for the lavender. And some people, like I said, end up with a skin irritation. And sometimes it's really interesting that lavender has a opposite effect in some kids, where it should be calming you down, it actually ramps them up. And so because of the diversity of the chemistry and because we are all unique individuals, we may have a different response or reaction to the essential oils. So having an alternative like the Petitgrain is a really great way to incorporate some of these blends that we've known to love and have an opportunity to utilize something else.
Mm-hmm. Here are some other ideas of how to use Petitgrain. You can diffuse it or in a diffuser. It's a really great one to diffuse at night because it is relaxing and calming. So you could diffuse it in your bedroom, and you could add, some lavender to it or some bergamot, or just diffuse it straight. It also blends really well with eucalyptus, which would be another nice combo for bedtime. Mm-hmm. I can take it internally, like I mentioned with that research earlier. It's really great taken internally to help with the digestive system, the immune system, and all that stuff. You could put just a couple of drops in a veggie capsule. You could also add this one to, you could make a tea. And something else that Susan Lawton talked about last night was when you're making tea with essential oils is, once you get the water nice and hot, you want to let it sit for about 15 minutes. Because at a certain temperature, I want to say it's like 115 degrees or somewhere around there, if the oils are heated to that temperature, they actually lose their therapeutic benefits. So by letting the water cool down enough to where it's still warm, just add a few drops of Petitgrain to the hot water. You could also add some raw local honey too, and then just drink that like a tea, or add it to, an herbal tea that you might already have. That would be a great way to use it internally. And then you can also use this one topically. Great for relaxation again, so for massage, putting some on the bottom of your feet with some coconut oil. Great one to help reduce the appearance of skin imperfections. And again, wherever you want that calming relaxation effect. Great one to use.
Yeah, it would be a great one to put in a spritz bottle, 3 or 4 drops in a spritz bottle of water and spray on your pillow at night.
Yes.
Mm.
And I thought this was kind of fun. Because of Petitgrain's ability to enhance other fragrances, it has been used in the perfume and cologne and cosmetic industry since the 18th century.
Mm.
Wow.
So this would be a great one to add to any of your homemade perfume blends.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Very nice. It blends really well with other floral and citrus too. And cinnamon and cassia.
You know, I would think wood oils too.
I would think that as well.
Blend really well with. Yeah. So another opportunity to substitute lavender, to substitute Petitgrain for lavender, excuse me, is in the Aroma Touch technique. This is something that I absolutely love to offer up to people. And like I said before, sometimes there are people that have that dermal sensitivity to it. And so one of the things that I've personally found that I like to do is create, well, first off, just straight up substitute Petitgrain for lavender in the lavender sequence, part of that sequence, excuse me. And then Aroma Touch is the other blend in the Aroma Touch sequence that has lavender in it. So if you're wanting to avoid lavender, you can create your own little bottle of lavender. No. Sorry,
Lavender
my brain
list.
stopped working there for a second. No lavender blend of Aroma Touch, and that would be Petitgrain, basil, cypress, peppermint, marjoram, and grapefruit. So some fun little ways that you can create some alternatives.
Awesome. And then, of course, the emotional aspect of Petitgrain. And Petitgrain is the oil of ancestry. And I took a couple of sentences out of the Emotions and Essential Oil book here because I thought they were just really got across what Petitgrain can help do for you. Petitgrain illuminates the eternal connection to all previous generations that weaves its way through the present generation and on to the next. Petitgrain is also a great aid in healing a complicated family history. Petitgrain reminds individuals that through accepting their ancestry, they can find peace, clarity, wisdom, and empathy for their own journey through this life. So a lot of things, you know, get passed down to us through growing up and just, you know, watching our family patterns. Things get passed down to us in our DNA. So this oil can just kind of help you break through and kind of the way kind of help you see it in a different way. And help you to kind of break the chain or break the cycle of things that maybe aren't healthy.
Yeah, one of the things that Susan Lawton had said last night that stuck with me is that the things that we say, the emotions that we carry around do have a tendency to shift our cells. And in that shifting of our cells and shifting of that DNA replication pattern, we have the opportunity with the essential oils, when we utilize them again on a regular basis, to help rewrite that, to help reshift that. And using the oils with the affirmations can really create that positive actual change in the way our cellular structure will replicate itself. So I think that really kind of goes along with how we can shift what has been given to us from our ancestors.
Mm-hmm. So awesome. And of course, some diffuser blends with Petitgrain. So stress relief, Petitgrain, clary sage, and lavender. Ooh, summer refresh. This sounds yummy. Petitgrain, grapefruit, and rosemary. Just some nummy blends. Yeah, I'm gonna try diffusing Petitgrain. I've got to admit here, I've never actually diffused this oil.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Today might just be the day.
Today's your Petitgrain day.
Yes.
I used it yesterday with Petitgrain and patchouli together.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was very relaxing, very kind of earthy, and just had a nice calming aroma.
Sounds yummy. So that wraps up our info on Petitgrain. Moving right along to upcoming events and things happening. A lot of the presidential diamonds have come together to create a summer success program. So if you are a sharer of doTERRA, this is a great challenge to get into for the summer. Things tend to slow down a little bit in the summer, so this is just a way to stay motivated and keep sharing our beautiful oils with others. They have extended the deadline, I believe, till tomorrow to register. And then there's a video that you need to watch to kind of get caught up before they kick off live on July 1st. But I'm almost done with the video, and I'm just really excited for what they're going to share with us in this next 60 days to help keep us motivated.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Empowered Life series for July is on the great outdoors, how to use those oils when you're outside. And that is on July 2nd and 3rd. And if you go out to doTERRA.com, hover over our advocates and go to Empowered Life series, you can register for that event. I believe they have 2 or 3 different times on those 2 days that you can register for. And then they are recorded and posted later on doTERRA.com too.
Which means that there's a whole series of past webinars that you can go on to and check out from months past on overabundance of different topics. So they've got an amazing opportunity for education.
Yes.
So our upcoming events that we've got coming up locally here and online are next week is 4th of July. Surprise, surprise, we will not be joining you via Zoom. Mm-hmm. But if you are feeling so compelled, please hop on to our YouTube channel and see some of our past videos if you'd like to that week. Otherwise, we will be back with you again on July 11th, and our spotlight for that date is Tangerine, which I'm pretty excited to talk about. Other local events that we have coming up, June 28th, that is this coming Thursday, we've got a Natural Solutions with Essential Oils in Apple Valley. July 8th at Unwind Within, I'm doing a Aroma Touch workshop. That is not a certification, but it is an opportunity to just get an experience of the technique if you've never experienced that before. July 9th at Unwind Within, I'm doing Intro to Oils at 7 o'clock. And then we've got our team night July 10th. So we got a busy week coming up. And our team night is Intensati with Kim. Kim Mason is an amazing presenter of Intensati. And Intensati is a physical workout with those positive affirmations. So again, rewriting the messages that you send to your body is so huge. And so this is a great opportunity to really help that positive message get into your cellular structure. And then our July business meeting, if you're interested in joining us, will be via Zoom. And the Essential Oils for Everyday Use will be a class held in Golden Valley on July 24th. And then on the 26th, there'll be another Natural Solutions with Essential Oils in Apple Valley at the Grand Stay Hotel. So I hope that you can join us for some or all of these upcoming events. We'd love to see your smiling faces, and be sure to invite others and bring friends, because there is an amazing message with the essential oils that we want to share with the world. So thank you for joining us. We are so happy to have you with us today and watching the recording if that's how you are joining us. And we're looking forward to seeing you again soon.
Have a wonderful week.